Alright, welcome back, folks. This is part number 2 of myself showcasing the VHS tapes that I got from a friend that I was with during my past, who was a big fan of my YouTube channel, who has either watched, my channel for either a couple of years or throughout the last 10 to 11 years I've been working with you guys. So, with all that said, let's resume. So, if you remember back in 2024, there was the Sesame Street and Elmo's World VHS and DVD Marathon, Longer Friendlier Street Edition. And one of the tapes that helped me start off the marathon was, of course, Sing Hoot and Howl with the Sesame Street Animals, which was part of the Sesame Song series. Well, in this big collection that I got from the fan, I got a second copy of Sing Hoot and Howl with the Sesame Street Animals. Now, unlike my first copy, which is in really great condition, this one is in not so great condition. But the tape is pretty unique because this tape here is a black label and it was reprinted in 1995. It's the same thing, like my 1987 VHS Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, where it was also reprinted in that same year. As for the print date, it's you guys won't be able to see it because of how bad it is, but I'll tell you from off screen. 232nd day of 1995. Okay, next up we have Amazing Animals, Seashore Animals. This is the DK version, I want to say, and this tape is from an unknown release. Oh, wait, there is a release here. 1997. I'm not sure what this video is about. I mean, I heard about Amazing Animals a couple of times, but never really watched it. Well, here's the tape, and it looks like the top lid is missing. That's like, it must have fell, and the top lid went missing. Right on the 72nd week of 1997. Oh, and check this out. Apparently, this looks like it got reprinted in 2002. Alright, let me put that down and let's get to our next tape. This one is Bugs Bunny's Cartoon Classics. Well, it would have been, but in reality, it's the 1993 VHS release of Aladdin with no print date. Yeah, it's kind of like, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, where it came in a different VHS cover box instead of its own VHS cover box. Pretty ironic. Okay, next up, this one I'm not sure. This just says Hi-Fi Extra High Grade Sound and Color from TDK. So I'm not sure if this has any recorded material on there or something of a blank VHS. Released in an unknown year, but I want to say either late 90s or early 2000s. We'll have to check off screen just to see. Alright, next up we have The Air Up There, which is, of course, from, if I can find that release here on this, unless it doesn't really have one. Maybe I'll have to check from the print date. But I do know it was released by Polygram Home Entertainment. Oh, look at that. Oh, and Hollywood Pictures Home Video. Let's see. So it was a 95 VHS, printed on March 21st of 1995. Alright, here's another tape that my mother has told me that it's also a well-known classic. And unlike Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, this one I actually got to see, some clips of it and one of the well-known songs. This is Grease. This is the 1998 VHS from Paramount Pictures and Paramount Home Video. Of course, the movie originally came out somewhere in the late 70s, around 1977, 1978. Okay, so here's the tape. This is the 20th anniversary edition. It was printed on the 29th week of, 2001, I want to say. So it could be a 98 VHS that was recorded in 2001. Alright, next up I have two VHSs that are blank. Both from TDK, where they have recorded material of Just Married, which of course was originally from CTT, Columbia Charts of Television, and now on my Sony Pictures Television, and another one that just says Ladybug. Once again, they were released in an unknown year. But if you remember growing up with blank tapes, you may remember putting them in the VCR and recording stuff off the TV or any stuff that you've been doing. Oh, this one's also different. This one also says, for Golly preload to a kiss. We'll have to look at it off screen just to see how it looks. Okay, so here's the next one. I think this is a lot of you guys are going to be really screaming nostalgia for me, and I know I can see some of you guys are going to be requesting me to do this. If you guys know Kidsongs, here's I Can Dance. This is a 1998 VHS from Together Again Productions and Sony Wonder. Yep, like Sesame Street, Sony Wonder also had distributing rights to release Kidsongs. Now, funny enough, I have seen Kidsongs before. I have a DVD of it, I still do, of one of the Kidsongs videos that was released in the 2000s. We'll like to share, more memories of Kidsongs. So now, other than, the Sesame Street and the Christmas days, this is now my first ever non-Sesame Street video that I have from the company. And of course, since this is a 1998 VHS, this got no print date. Alright, next up we have The Little Mermaid. Now, we heard about the clamshell release, the original 1991, but have you ever seen a slip sleeve version? Yep, this is the slip sleeve version with very low quality stuff on the back. And here's the tape itself, and it's got no print date. Before I continue on, I think we need to address one of the most biggest elephant in the room of why the 1990 VHS is so memorable. It's controversial box art. If you take a very good look over here, you see that one of the castles, this is what the castle was supposed to look like. Well, somebody at Walt Disney Company decided to be so unhinged and gave this a, yeah, your eyes are not fooling you, an actual dick. Yep. I literally said that out loud. That's crazy. Somebody must have been pretty unhinged at the Walt Disney Company and must have had one wild imagination. Well, here's one imagination that you won't find wild and you always find great. Here's The Busy World of Richard Scarry, Sergeant Murphy's Day Off. Now, I have heard about The Busy World of Richard Scarry before, many times through commercials and a little bit of clips. But this is like the first ever time I ever owned a home video release. This is from 1993 from Polygram Video and Sonar Incorporated. If I remember, this was a collaboration between, Sonar and Paramount. Here's the tape, and it's in red. This is like the first time I own a tape that is red. Interesting. All right, we are almost done here, so let's continue on. Next up, we have Bended Like Beckham, I believe that's how you're saying, and you also have the subtitles in Espanol. This is a 2003 VHS from, of course, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment and Searchlight Pictures. And it looks like it's a soccer movie. And as Ebert and Robert gave this movie a wonderful film, 2 thumbs up. And here's the tape itself. And it was printed on, I guess it has no print date. I'm not sure. We'll have to really look at it. Alright. All of you fanatics out there at Looney Tunes might be really excited. Of course, this year will finally mark the release of the long-anticipated CGI movie Coyote vs. Acme. The CGI live-action hybrid movie that Warner Brothers was trying to cancel, but of course, Catch Up Entertainment saved. So how about we celebrate that victory with Sylvester and Tweety's Tail Feathers. It's part of the Looney Tunes cartoon series, and this tape was released in 1993. And here's the tape. And it was printed on the 35th week, August 1st and August 2nd, 1993. All right, let me put that away. Okay, this one, I'm not sure from what tape it came from, but this says Give your family the memories of a lifetime. Unlock Disney's world of imagination. This one advertises the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. All the movies that you can watch on here. The ones that I just mentioned in part 1. And what was coming out of the video at the time in 96. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Pocahontas, and the Aristocats. And speaking of Disney, here's a Disney tape called Kidnap, which is, of course, by Robert Louis Stevenson, the same guy who made Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know, the book series. Oh, check this out, guys. We have a Disney video shopping guide here of old Disney stuff. I think it like shows you how you can get a seal eligible Disney video. Let me see. It says earn free rewards with Disney's video program. It also tells you that the new videos were coming out at the time, like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the anniversary edition of Bambi, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, the upcoming, at the time, release of 101 Dalmatians, which is the live-action movie that I do have on VHS that I would love to share with you guys one day. And, of course, there were some other Disney tapes that came along as well that did well. All fun and fancy-free. I used to have that tape. Sadly, I no longer have. Then there's Mighty Ducks, the movie, and the Disney sing-along songs. I love the sing-along song series. I have the Camp Out at Walt Disney World. But when I was young, I used to have only one of the Disney sing-along songs, and that was the Under the Sea, which at the time was promoting The Little Mermaid. And then at the back, of course, it promotes Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. And this one is I guess you want to say like a business reply mail for Disney Adventures, where it shows you a lot of cool stuff. Like here you got Toy Story, Lion King, Darkwing Duck, and The Mask. Yep, the one with Jim Carrey in it. And now it's time to show you the tape. So here it is, and it's Gloria. It was printed on December 29th, 1997. All right, so I want to say this could either be a 1997 or 1998 VHS. If you know, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so here's my second copy of D2 the Mighty Ducks. This one's in pretty rough shape than the other copy that I had. And this copy was printed on July 15, 1994. Same as like my first copy. Alright, next up, here's my second copy of Disney's Pocahontas. This one has a sticker on it that says, save $10 up to $5 refund on Disney videos, and $5 refund for Nestle, plus a offer from Mattel, the same people behind Barbie. And this one's got a lot of promotional stuff. Oh, look at this, folks. It looks like someone must have left this receipt when they went to go see, I guess, the movie or buy the video at Jersey City, New Jersey. Wow, bought it on March 7th of 1996 at 12:30 in the afternoon. Man, those prices were something back then. Nowadays, if you're trying to find Disney tapes, they're like ridiculously overpriced. Because you got a lot of scalpers that want to be ripping people off. Here's the promotion for all the Pocahontas toys that you can get from Mattel. And then you have like the photograph, which is also from Mattel. You got the business mail, which I've shown many times. And then here is the official mailing certificate, which you can send in to get 2 Disney videos, plus an eligible masterpiece or family fun collection movies. This one right here is, I think you could win a vacation to Walt Disney World. Oh, wow. Okay, here's the Nestle. Here's the Nesquik money. I didn't know Nesquik did chocolate ice cream back then. I always had like chocolate milk with it or strawberry milk. Oh, wow. A Pocahontas Adventure VCR game. You know, I heard about VCR games, but I never really owned one. Oh, check this out. Some old classic snacks. I think you guys may recognize these. There's Quake, Cool Creations, I guess for Pocahontas, Drumstick, Baby Roof, some Nestle's Chocolate Crunch, 100 grand. But the one that catches my eyes the most, Butterfinger and the defunct Butterfinger BBs. If you guys watch, like the old commercials from the 90s, check out the ones that were made in collaboration with The Simpsons. Now, those were really fun to watch. And of course, here we have the Nesquik buddies telling us to get 2 free samples of Nesquik, including new Nesquik cookies and cream with every game. Which is, of course, you could get here to get the Pocahontas Adventure VCR game. I'm not going to be able to do that because, this is from the 90s and we're in 2026. So the only way to get it now is, well, eBay. I mean, eBay's your best friend. As long as you know what you're doing and not ripping off money. Whew, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try my best. So here's lead to a new video of Disney. This one, it says, look inside for valuable, hot new offerings from Disney. So I'm going to bring this down. This one advertises the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, which is, of course, starring Robin Williams, which is about the wedding of the century. This one advertises Lion King and Cinderella. And then you have the Masterpiece Collection, which advertises Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, and all the other movies that were out at the time. Walt Disney Family Film Collection Series. And then some of these movies that I have on VHS. Not these two, but this one, The Big Green. You can check that out on my Internet Archive channel. And then you have the sing-along songs, which includes Jungle Book, Pocahontas, a Beach Party at Disney World? I'm not sure. And then there was Muppet Sing-Along, which this one was for Muppet Treasure Island. And then you have this video that was coming out at the time, Timon and Pumbaa's Wild Adventures and The Best of Roger Rabbit. Then you got the Pooh Collection Series, which is Playtime, Learning, and then Disney's favorite stories like The Wind and the Willows, Mickey and the Beanstalk, Paul Merlin, and Mickey in The Prince and the Pauper. Oh, and then you have the Disney Princess Collection. There we go. This is the more interesting one. This is with Jasmine, and then you got from Aladdin, the TV series, Gargoyles, and Street Sharks. And then, of course, at the back advertises the Aristocats that were coming to video at the time on April 24th, 1996. And as for my second copy of Pocahontas, printed on January 2nd, 1996. Alright, put this away. Here comes our next movie. Anybody that grew up with my channel in 2019 should know I used to have this movie before giving it away a year later. I'm glad I got to reunite it again. This was one of my favorite Disney 90s movies. DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Map. This was Disney Movie 2's first ever movie that was made, but it was direct to video. And if I remember correctly, I think it was the series finale of the DuckTales 80 series before the series would get revived somewhere in the 2010 decade. So here's the tape itself, and it has no print date. For anybody that's grown up with Nickelodeon may remember one of the first ever 3 cartoons were Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy Show, and Doug. Somewhere in the 90s, Doug will end up moving from Nickelodeon to Disney. And in 1999, Doug will get his very first movie. I think there was a time I used to have this on VHS, but only for a short time. Well, now it's good to get it back again. And it's one of those videos that was presented, of course, by the Go Network, which was a short-lived website thing I think Disney had from like the late 90s all the way up to 2000. And this tape was printed on July 22nd of 1999. All right, let's round out part 2 with my 2 copies of Little Giants. Now, Little Giants was released in 1995 from Warner Bros. Family Entertainment and Warner Home Video. What I'm showing you is my second copy, is this one's in pretty bad shape, as this looks like it's got 8 in all. And to make things more crazy, nothing, no tape in here. But my first copy does have the tape, which I can show you. printed on December 27, 1994. So it's an early print date, even though it's a 95 VHS. Now for the promotions that I have in the second copy. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. First up, we have this Warner Bros. Family Entertainment, like, kind of like certificate around here. And then over here, you get to see, like, the movies that were out. You got, like, Batman, The Boy Who Can Fly, Follow That Bird, of course, from Sesame Street, Dumbelina, Free Willy, The Goonies, and etc. This looks really nice. Oh, they even have, like, Superman and, what else they have? The Incredible Mr. Limper. Interesting. Oh, now here's this one where you can get some money saved, you know, to get some Energizer batteries. And of course, you know, like Disney, you also have a business reply mail, which you can send to Warner Home Video to get a free Warner Home Video catalog. Well, I don't think Warner Bros. Will be doing any catalogs nowadays, considering that we're now on digital media. And they're currently in a bidding war with Paramount trying to do a hostile takeover to take over Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is trying to buy Netflix, and boy, it is pretty hefty. If you've been hearing it on the news lately, you know what I'm talking about. Well, that's it for part 2 of showcasing my VHS collection. I mean, not my VHS collection, the VHSs that I have that, of course, one of my fans gave me. One more thing before I close out. Here's this from one of the Disney VHS. I'm not sure. Oh, this accidentally fell. If you liked this video, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, follow me on my social media platforms. If you guys want to see these VHS in future VHS openings, they will be seen. I hope you all enjoy them, and if you want to send any VHSs or DVDs to me, let me know. I'll be very happy to have them there. Or if you guys want to support, you know, for future projects, you know, for Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas, Valentine's Day and stuff, always let me know. With all that said, that's it for the video. I'll see you next time. Good night, and take care.